Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Great Lake Tapu Fini here. Of course, Great Lake is not available yet. I think it's going to be available in like 2 days again, as we're going to go into the last week of the season. Actually, the season went faster than I thought it would go, to be honest, but yeah. I wasn't really in the mood to showcase more teams right now for the Master League Premier Classic Cup, as people are not really that interested in good teams there anyway. So here we go, we have a nice team here with our Shadow Ninetales in the lead. Right now, like, Shadow Ninetales is really cool for the meta, as you have a lot of play against nearly everything. For example, if you look at the War Rain, of course it has Earthquake, but the ice type moves are resisted, and like this is the main attack from the War Rain, and you get to the Weather Ball so fast with this thing. I actually thought of giving him an elite TM for the Ember, but like, yeah, Ninetales with the Fire Spin is also fine, especially against a Shadow Scissor. Yeah, this was not the best matchup for my opponent there, and you're gonna see why they didn't really swap out immediately later on. But yeah, Tapu Fini here in the Great League, you see how much damage it takes. We actually got a pretty decent one, to be honest. Like, of course, it's not perfect. We could have had some more defense or whatever, but like, I'm just happy that I got one after I think like 7 trades or something. Was already costly enough, as every trade costed like 20k Stardust, because you kind of want to trade with people that you're not really friends with. So yeah, finally we got this thing and we can showcase it, as now the Great League comes back soon anyway. We can go for an overheat here and we can destroy this jump up, and this is why they didn't swap out in the beginning. They just didn't have anything for my Ninetales. Ninetales in general is like definitely one of my favorite Pokemon to use right now. It's like such a cool Pokemon. It's just nice. We can try to catch the move on our Azumarill, but didn't work out. This is, by the way, why we have Hydro Pump on Azumarill. My game plan here was to bait out whatever is good against like water and fairy types in back, while swapping into my Azumarill, which is most likely the Registeel. Registeel cannot KO me even though we are not XL. Means they have to throw 2 moves, and at this point our Ninetales, you see the Fire Spin damage can just farm him all the way down, which is kind of amazing, as my opponent goes into their Sableye, and we see the return coming through. We can shield this. It's gonna come down to the wire still. I don't think we can win this anymore, to be honest, as yeah, like we have now a really tough match up ahead for us. We're gonna shield the next move as well, which is gonna be a foul play, which is good played by my opponent. We can go for 1 Surf here, and we can try to swap out, go for the Weather Ball and KO this thing, but like still, we have now an Azumarill against a Alolan and normal Ninetales here. We go for the overheat, does nearly half of the HP from an Azumarill. Like, this is a resisted move, but the Shadow Overheat just does so much damage, and we can go for another Weather Ball as well. And there's a Weather Ball gonna put him into range where I can Fire Spin him down and win the battle. Have you ever seen a Azumarill completely go down just from fire moves? That was kinda insane. We have a good lead there, but we cannot really swap out either with this team, as Nidoqueen is kinda a problem for us right now. So we can go for some Weather Balls here, which should be fine anyway, as they go for the Earth Power, which is a good shield from us. I expected them to go for the Earth Power there, kinda. They let the next move go through, which means we can farm them down with Tapu Fini, and we can get to the Surf in time before they can get to a Discharge with their Galvantula, and they have to throw anyway against us now, so we just gonna let this move go. We could have also shielded and realign, but I just rather take the energy on my Ninetales while they go into their Scrafty, and I should have waited longer here, as we are switch locked against the Scrafty, and of course we have the best answer in the Azumarill in the back there, but they go for the Power Punch, which means we can swap out. We still have enough health to survive one Volt Switch, I think, on our Ninetales, and we can go for 1 more Play Rough here, KOing this thing and farm down the Galvantula. Good game to my opponent. Next up, we're gonna have a Medicham lead. Yeah, of course, I kind of want to swap out here as well into my Azumarill. You also, by the way, gonna see some lag later on. Like, I had sometimes very horrible lag where my opponent just could farm me completely down, but I couldn't do anything. I was just standing still. Could have been the case because I was in my garden and used my normal Wi-Fi, like my phone Wi-Fi, which is still a very good one. It's actually better than my Wi-Fi from my home, but like, I don't know, it shouldn't have. Yeah, for exactly. I mean, that's at least like on both sides. I got farmed down by some people before, but I actually don't know. Like, my normal Wi-Fi from my phone is actually very stable as well, but I don't know why it didn't work out that much here. Usually it's on what I play when I'm outside for the sea days like yesterday, and we see the Boniri here. Very cool spice by my opponent. Like honestly, can we get applause for him in the comment section? Like the Boniri, like what a cool Pokemon. XL Boniri here, Nia gets to 1500 CP, doesn't do anything here, but it was actually not that bad to be honest. We can still go for one overheat and KO my opponent, but cool thing to bring there. Very nice battle there, good game there. It was hilarious to see. I always enjoy like seeing some weird stuff. Seeing some weird stuff as a Pelipper, definitely not. I actually think I didn't pay attention here because this cannot be a Hurricane and I'm still shielding. But yeah, I didn't pay attention. But good thing there that we can just go for a Surf and should most likely get the shield back here, which you do. And we're just gonna go for another Surf again, as this Surf gonna be able to do enough damage to put him into range where I think I can farm down with the ninetales here. I wanted to swap out after 3 and catch the move on the Azumarill, but of course lag doesn't really want me to swap out in time, I guess. So we just have to farm the Pelipper down there. We want to go for the... Actually, did you saw this? Like I went for the overheat 1 turn prior already, but I just went for another quick move, which was also annoying me at this point of time. So this was really nice, and now I tried to swap onto the move, which at least worked out. But like I remember being so frustrated because I wanted to throw one move before, and we see a Heracross in the back, and I was like, okay, what do you have? Like Mega Horn, Close Combat, Rock Blast, nothing that really hits me, to be honest. And then I see Earthquake, which puts me into farm down range, which I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose here now. But we still have the Weather Ball Fire, which is gonna destroy this thing, and also gonna destroy the Mandibus. As yeah, overheat on Mandibus already, it's like so much damage, it's insane. Here we are up against the tactical, and the funny thing is we nearly play the exact same team as we swap out at the exact same time. And here's the Tapu Fini in the back as well. Thing is here, what you're gonna see now is me thinking, okay, there's no way that he doesn't go for the Moonblast here. He goes for the Surf. I was like, okay, this is a weird one. Like, why do you do this? And he shields his move up, and I was like, okay, most likely gonna go for Moonblast now. Let's see how much it's gonna do. And it's gonna be a Surf again. So I was like, does he bait me that often? Like, why do he do this? Turns out he was single moved at this point of time. He didn't give his Great League Tapu Fini a secondary move yet. So cool, I mean, he baited me, good job there. But yeah, like if you saw already the... Oh, we have an venonat in the back. He played actually like that... You gotta see that, you gotta see that. This game was insane, this game was really cool. You see, okay, defense drop, so I have to swap out, like very lucky for him, but that's fine. And we can go to our 0 now, but if you saw the Draft League finals, you definitely should see it if you haven't saw this yet. I was also up against though, and like they are always really close. Here he goes for the Bug Buzz actually to KO me, a very nice play there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to shield this anyway. I think I can farm down the ninetales. He goes for the Bubble Beam. Okay, we can go for the Moonblast. We should be able to KO him now, and we should be able to take one Weather Ball Fury. And he can go for another move here. This move gonna come through, and we have 1 HP, and he survived with 1 HP in a dream because he baited me with a Bubble Beam. Didn't go for the Bug Buzz there. Like yeah, he literally outplayed me there a little bit. So like he basically had the only scenario where he won the game, which was kind of crazy. Like good game to him there, very well played. We see the Warren here coming up against us. We have a Moose Stout on the ninetales, I think, at this point of time. So what are we gonna do here is we just gonna go for the play rough. We try to get both shields down from my opponent, and because ninetales basically doesn't have really a horrible matchup, as you always do damage with overheat anyway, or whatever. We should be able to go for another play rough here, get the last shield. If we get the last shield, we swap into the ninetales, and we can snipe the Warren with one Weather Ball, which is gonna be able to just completely destroy this thing, and we can go for another Weather Ball against this Deoxys defense before they can go here for a move that I didn't expect. They go for the Rock Slide. Usually you don't see Rock Slide Deoxys anymore, you only see a Thunderbolt, so interesting to see this. Here's the good thing about Tapu Fini, by the way. It has a 1 turn quick move in Water Gun, which does more damage to Deoxys because Deoxys is a very low HP stat. So like you do always the same amount of damage basically every turn, but like it adds up more than like a 3 or 4 turn move. As we can finish this ninetales with 1 play rough, and we can farm down my opponent here. Going into the next match, we're gonna see Machamp in the lead. Very cool. We can stay in for a little bit at least. We can go for the Weather Ball, but they go straight for their Cross Chop, which is fine. And they swap into a Dragalge, which is kind of interesting. And I was now counting the Dragon Tails, as Dragon Tails of course are resisted. And he throws after 6, which means it does not, like, there's no chance that this is the Gang Shot. And they're just gonna go for the Awkward Tail anyway. As we're gonna go for the Surf, which they don't shield up because of course, like, they have nothing to hit us. They know that Awkward Tail is the best that they can hit us with. And we're gonna be able to farm down the Dragalge as they go into the Machamp. And the Machamp of course doesn't want to face like a Surf, so we can just go for another Surf against this Frostlass that comes in. And we know the entire team, which means we can just go into our Ninetales. We should be able to get the Lost Shield here. We do get the Lost Shield here, and I'm gonna try to farm all the way down, see what they're gonna do there, as we gonna see some lag. And we can farm down and we can go for the move, but they can go for their move. And yeah, now we have the Azumarill and it should be fine. But you see here, I try to tap, like you see me tapping, I can swap out, like didn't works again. But like he got like 7 counters in for free or something. You see me tapping the entire time and it didn't work, but I see my opponent tapping, or like in general my opponent's attack, which are weird. And I think this happened here in a similar style as well. Cool team by my opponent as well, by the way, like having the Hitmonchan there is kind of cool. Didn't expect that the Thunder Punch did that much damage, but okay, he can farm me all the way down now, which is kind of annoying. But if we get one Fire Spin in, which we do, we should be able to KO this thing, and we have definitely enough to threaten other Pokemon. And you see me here standing still again while my opponent counters me down, which is kind of annoying. But hey, we can go for the Overheat here, and the extra moves there actually really hurt me later on, as you're gonna see, as they can go for 1 boosted Psychic now, as yeah, we can go for 1 Play Rough, which I don't think it does KO him. No, it doesn't. And they swap out in the Lickitung, of course, again, and we don't have the energy that we would have had if we had the moves that we, like, yeah, if we had just the moves that we tried to get while my opponent just countered me down. Also, nothing against my opponent, of course, it's the game that's broken. Like, I'm not want to shame them because they counter me down, that they don't know that if I lag or if they lag or whatever. But you see here, like, yeah, I was just done with the game at this point. This was actually the last game I played, because after this I was like, yeah, why do I even bother? We see Tapu Fini against Altaria. Now my opponent doesn't swap out, so it means he's weak in the back, at least that's what I thought. But we see the Empoleon here, and I was like, I have to get rid of this thing. Like, we have nothing for Empoleon on this team. We have literally nothing there. Actually, Empoleon is also... I was like, okay, Empoleon is not the coolest Pokemon in the current meta. To be honest, it really lost its weight after basically the shift from Azumarill, Stunfisk to Trevenant and Walrein. Yeah, like, it's not really that good anymore, to be honest, in the current meta. So, like, I wouldn't really recommend it to you, Empoleon. But against my team, it would have been good, but my team is not meta. So we can go for 1 Play Rough here, as Play Rough should KO my opponent, as we see the last Pokemon, which is going to be the Swampert. And I kind of misplayed this, to be honest. Like, I kind of misplay this matchup here. I get some nice bubble damage on him. I'm just going to shield the Sludge Wave here, which was insanely important for me, as I'm going to go for the Play Rough here. And I think I misplayed it. Or does my opponent... I guess my opponent just plays it perfectly. I know that I have to let this move go, and I hope that it's a high damage, high energy move, but I won't be able to get to another move in time, as they can go for like back-to-back moves here, which gonna destroy me and win him the game. If I needed 1 more quick move to get to my charge move for my Ninetales, which I think would have done enough, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. But very well played by my opponent. We see a Litleo on the lead, which is kind of insane, but we see the Trevenant coming in. We're kind of getting hard counted right now. Of course, we have an ABB style line, so you want to swap out if you have like a neutral lead, like we saw here, as you need something for the Registeel, which could be potentially in the back, which in our team is of course the normal Shadow Ninetales. And we should be able to farm down the Trevenant now with the Fire Spin of the Ninetales, which should get us to the Overheat. Can we overheat this Litleo? We sadly can't, but we can swap out into our Tapu Fini, and it resists every move from the Litleo, so we are fine here. As they go into the Sableye, which we of course take this move here, like there's definitely a foul play resisted, but we can now go for 1 Surf. The Surf gonna be able to put him very low, but they're actually gonna shoot this up anyway, as we can go for another Surf, which I think actually already KOs my opponent. Yep. And we can now try to go for the Overheat, just because it's funny. my opponent goes for a move so they don't die to a 2-shade flex by me, which is definitely understandable as this overheat destroys this little good game there. Next up, we're gonna have ninetales against the Marowak. Marowak gets the new Shadow version soon. You definitely should take advantage of this. Definitely a way better improvement than the normal one. And me seeing a Marowak plus an Azumarill kinda tells me already which Pokemon he has in the bag. Which for me, I think that my Tapu Fini should be having a great day at the end there, and we will see. My Azumarill has horrible IBs. It's still I still haven't built my XL version. I have a rank 27, I think, which I'm currently building, but I'm building this slow when I have tasks or whatever, because I'm not really the biggest Azumarill player anyway, which is also totally fine here, as we're still gonna be able to win this matchup. And we see the opponent coming in with a Marowak, as we can let this move go. Goes for a Shadow Bone, or fine, we can go for the Tapu Fini, and we should be able to just go for one serve and get the shield from my opponent, which is interesting. I'm just going to shoot as well, as I expect a certain Pokemon in the back, which we also definitely see here with the Sableye, basically like a reverse order from those team, which he had I think season 1 already or something. Good old team. I don't think it really works anymore, but maybe with a Shadow bonus, maybe we should try and take a look at this as well. I might play... I have actually an interesting idea for a team that we can run when we have the Shadow version of the... Marowak available. But that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.